Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m., lying in the quiet darkness, unable to fall back asleep and wondered why? You're not alone. This is a common experience, especially for older adults. It's not just an annoying habit or a simple result of aging. In this video, we're going to dive into 5 key reasons why so many people wake up around 3 a.m. as they get older, and what these early wake-ups might be trying to tell you about your body and mind. Each reason goes beyond the surface, revealing deeper insights into your health, your body's rhythms, and even your life experiences. By the end of this video, you might start to see your sleep patterns in a whole new way. These aren't just quick explanations. They're rooted in real science. Changes in hormones, sleep cycles, health issues, and emotional or social factors that influence your sleep. We'll explore all of this in a way that's honest, respectful, and empowering, acknowledging the life you've lived. If you've ever wondered why you wake up at 3 a.m., you're in the right place. Stick with us until the end, because what you learn here could help you sleep better and better understand what's happening in your body. Let's get started. Number 1, reduced melatonin production. One of the primary reasons older adults wake up in the middle of the night, often around 3 a.m., is the natural decrease in melatonin production as we age. Melatonin is the hormone responsible for regulating our sleep-wake cycle, our body's internal clock. It plays a crucial role in helping us fall asleep and stay asleep. When you were younger, your body produced a steady, strong amount of melatonin each night, allowing you to enjoy deep, uninterrupted sleep. But as we age, our bodies naturally produce less melatonin, and this change can significantly affect how well we sleep. While you may still fall asleep easily, especially after a long day or a relaxing evening, that steady flow of melatonin can dip too low in the early hours of the morning, around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or sometimes even 4 a.m. Without enough melatonin, your brain may gradually shift toward wakefulness, even if there's no external disturbance like noise or dreams. This is why you might find yourself wide awake, unable to fall back asleep. It's not because you're doing something wrong, and it doesn't mean your body is failing. It's just a natural part of aging. Environmental factors can also make this effect worse. Even small amounts of light, like the glow of a street lamp outside, a blinking clock on the nightstand, or light creeping under the door, can suppress melatonin further. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to these environmental triggers, which can make waking up around 3 a.m. feel even more frustrating. Take Harold, for example. At 72, he's always considered himself a good sleeper. Recently, though, he finds himself wide awake at 3:15 a.m. most nights. He doesn't feel anxious, just alert, as if it's time to start the day. Once Harold understood that this early waking was simply due to reduced melatonin production with age, he stopped blaming himself. Instead, he made some changes to support his sleep. He keeps his bedroom darker, avoids screens an hour before bed, and takes a brief evening walk to reinforce his body's natural circadian rhythm. These small adjustments help signal to his body that it's still nighttime. While he still wakes up early sometimes, Harold has learned to work with his body instead of against it. Understanding that early waking may be tied to a natural chemical shift rather than something you're doing wrong can be a game changer. It shifts your perspective from frustration to compassion, empowering you to make better choices about how you support your sleep. Number 2, shifted sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another key reason older adults often wake up around 3 a.m. is due to a natural shift in the body's internal clock, known as advanced sleep phase. As we age, our circadian rhythms tend to move forward, meaning we may start to feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. You might notice yourself dozing off during a late-night movie or waking up at dawn, even when you wish you could sleep longer. This shift is more than just a change in habit. It's deeply biological and becomes more pronounced as we get older. When we're younger, our bodies are typically in sync with a later bedtime and a wake-up time that aligns more closely with the sun. However, as the circadian rhythm shifts, the sleep window naturally moves earlier. You might find yourself falling asleep at 9 p.m. or even earlier without trying. meaning your body has already completed its sleep cycle by the time 3 a.m. arrives. As a result, you may wake up feeling fully rested, even though it's still dark outside. This doesn't mean something is wrong. It's simply your body operating on a different schedule. Think of it like a clock that's gradually been reset, ticking forward a little more each year. While this isn't harmful, it can be frustrating if your lifestyle, family schedule, or personal preferences don't match this new rhythm. There's also a psychological side to this change. Many older adults live in quieter homes or spend more time alone, and this peaceful environment can amplify the body's natural signals to wind down earlier. Without the constant hustle of daily life, like work, commutes, or social gatherings, your body starts its shutdown process much earlier. The absence of external cues like meetings or activities can make this internal shift feel even more pronounced. Let's consider Charles, who's 68 and retired. He eats dinner around 5:30 p.m., watches TV for about an hour, and is usually asleep by 9 p.m. By 3 a.m., his body is naturally ready to wake up. At first, he thought it was insomnia, but once he learned about advanced sleep phase, he realized his sleep wasn't broken. It was just rescheduled. To adjust, Charles started staying up a little later, reading a book with soft light, taking a gentle walk after dinner, and occasionally chatting with his daughter before bed. These small changes helped stretch his sleep window, shifting his wake-up time closer to morning. As a result, he experienced fewer early wake-ups and felt more aligned with his daily routine. This natural shift in sleep cycles is something many older adults experience but don't often talk about. Understanding it can alleviate feelings of guilt or confusion, helping you embrace and work with your body's changes instead of fighting them. So if you wake up at 3 a.m. feeling like you've had a full night's sleep, it's possible your body is simply following an earlier schedule. Once you recognize that, you can adjust your routine to better support your well-being. If you're finding these insights helpful, please leave a comment saying number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a new video. Your support allows us to keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Let's continue. Number 3, physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Another common reason older adults wake up around 3 a.m. is due to physical discomfort or underlying health issues that tend to surface during the quiet hours of the night. As we age, the likelihood of experiencing chronic conditions or subtle health problems increases, and many of these can disrupt sleep without any obvious alarms. They creep in quietly like a sore joint, a full bladder, or a sudden twinge in the back, and that's often enough to pull you out of a restful state right in the middle of the night. For example, conditions like arthritis can make it uncomfortable to stay in the same position for long periods. While you may not notice the discomfort when you first fall asleep, hours of stillness can cause those aches to build up, eventually waking you. Other common issues include nighttime acid reflux, which can be triggered if you've eaten dinner too late or laid down too soon after eating. Even something as simple as dry mouth, muscle cramps, or a slight change in room temperature can lead to early morning wake-ups, especially when your body is more sensitive and less forgiving during the night. One of the most frequent physical reasons older adults wake up at 3 a.m. is the need to urinate. As we age, the bladder becomes less elastic, and the urge to go can strike more frequently and suddenly. During the day, when your mind is busy, you may not notice it as much. But at 3 a.m., in the quiet of your room, that sensation can be impossible to ignore. Once you get up, even just to go to the bathroom, your body might shift from deep rest to light alertness, making it harder to fall back asleep. Medications also play a role in disrupting sleep. Many older adults take medication for conditions like high blood pressure, heart health, or pain management. These medications can have side effects such as increased urination, changes in body temperature, or heightened sensitivity to noise and light, all of which can subtly affect your sleep. You might not realize that your medication is contributing to your wake-ups until you speak with your doctor or start tracking your sleep patterns. Take Alina, for example. At 76, she's always been a light sleeper, but over the past year, she began waking up around 3:30 a.m. regularly. After months of thinking it was just a result of aging, she spoke to her doctor and learned that one of her medications was affecting her hydration levels and causing more nighttime bathroom trips. With her doctor's guidance, she adjusted the timing of her dosage and made a few lifestyle changes. Now, she wakes up less frequently and is able to get back to sleep more easily. It's important to remember that waking up due to physical discomfort doesn't mean your body is failing. In fact, it's a sign that your body is still doing its job, alerting you and making adjustments. These signals can offer valuable clues about your health, guiding you toward better choices and helping you build a stronger connection with your body. Waking up at 3 a.m. may feel like an inconvenience, but it can also be a reminder to tune in, check in, and make small changes that support your health and improve your sleep. Number 4, lifestyle habits that shift your sleep rhythm. Another key reason older adults wake up around 3 a.m. is linked to the subtle changes in everyday habits, routines, and lifestyle choices that, over time, can shift the body's internal rhythm. Many older adults naturally start eating dinner earlier, winding down sooner in the evening, and engaging in less physical activity during the day. These small shifts gradually signal to the body that the night should begin earlier, which in turn can lead to earlier wake-up times. As life becomes quieter, especially after retirement, the body no longer receives the same external cues it once did. Things like commuting, running errands, or participating in mentally and physically engaging activities. Without these cues, the sleep-wake cycle can shift forward. A calm, dimly lit evening with minimal stimulation encourages the brain to produce melatonin earlier, signaling to your body that it's time for sleep, well, before you realize the clock has hit 9 p.m. Once you fall asleep earlier, your body completes its rest earlier, leading to wakefulness during the stillness of the early morning, often around 3 a.m. There's also a subtle connection between food timing and sleep quality. While eating dinner earlier can be healthier, it sometimes causes a dip in blood sugar levels overnight, especially if there's no light snack before bed. This dip may not feel like hunger, but it can still rouse your body from sleep. Similarly, caffeine consumed even in the early afternoon can linger in your system longer as metabolism slows with age, subtly affecting your sleep and making you more sensitive to disturbances. Take Walter, for example, who's 74 and recently retired. Over time, his routine shifted without him realizing it. His days became less structured, and his evenings grew more relaxed. He started having dinner at 5 p.m., falling asleep in his recliner while watching the news, and heading to bed by 9 p.m. most nights. Eventually, he began waking up around 3 a.m., unsure why he was wide awake so early. After reflecting on his routine, Walter made small adjustments, taking a short walk in the afternoon, reading in brighter light during the evening, and avoiding naps after dinner. These tweaks helped push his natural sleep window later, aligning his wake-up time more closely with his preferred schedule. What's striking is how often we underestimate the power of routine. Our bodies thrive on rhythm, consistent patterns that act like signals, telling the brain when to rest and when to rise. When those signals weaken or shift, our internal clocks can get out of sync, leading to earlier and more fragmented sleep. By paying attention to these patterns and making thoughtful changes, we can guide our bodies back to a more balanced sleep cycle that feels more restful and less disrupted. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support helps us continue creating great content to inform and inspire you. Let's keep going. Number 5, emotional and psychological restlessness. Sometimes waking up at 3 a.m. has less to do with physical factors and more to do with what's happening inside your mind. As we grow older, the emotional layers that were once buried under the busyness of daily life can resurface in the stillness of the night. The quiet early hours, when the world is asleep and distractions are few, often become the perfect backdrop for unspoken worries, regrets, or longings that haven't been fully addressed. You might find yourself awake, not due to noise or pain, but because your mind is quietly processing unresolved thoughts, past experiences, or subtle anxieties you didn't even realize were lingering. This kind of restlessness isn't the same as the full-blown anxiety you may have experienced in your younger years. It's quieter, more introspective. It often feels like a soft, persistent hum in the background, a vague sense that something is unsettled, even if you can't quite pinpoint what it is. When a mind isn't actively occupied, it tends to drift back into old memories, relationships, choices made long ago, losses felt, or conversations that were never had. And when your body isn't rushing from one task to the next, there's suddenly space for these thoughts to surface more clearly. Loneliness also plays a role in this emotional restlessness. As we age, our social circles often shrink. Children move away, friends become more distant, and routines shift. The daytime may still be full of activity, but night brings a quiet that amplifies the emotional void. This loneliness doesn't always feel heavy. It can manifest as a yearning for connection or a subtle ache for someone to talk to when the house is still. Take Gloria, for example. At 80 years old and widowed, she keeps busy during the day with gardening, calls to her grandchildren, and watching her favorite shows. But around 3 a.m., she often wakes up, her mind drifting to memories of her late husband or worries she had tucked away earlier. At first, she thought something was wrong with her sleep, but over time, she realized these early wake-ups weren't a sleep issue. They were her heart trying to be heard. To help herself, Gloria started keeping a small journal by her bedside. Whenever she woke up, she'd write down whatever was on her mind. Nothing fancy, just a few honest thoughts. She also added a calming evening ritual, like listening to soft music or writing a quick note to a friend. These small acts of reflection and connection gave her emotions an outlet, easing her mind and helping her fall back asleep. The truth is, the human heart doesn't follow a strict schedule. It remembers what it needs to, asks the questions it has, and sometimes does this at 3 a.m. when everything else is still. But this isn't a flaw, it's a sign of depth. If you wake up in the early hours and feel reflective, it could be because you're carrying wisdom that's ready to be acknowledged. You've lived through joys and heartaches, and those experiences shape your memories and your sense of self. Rather than seeing these wake-ups as something to fix, try approaching them with curiosity and compassion. What is your mind trying to communicate? What part of you might need a little attention or grace? Even in the quiet of the night, sometimes the most meaningful kind of rest doesn't come from ignoring these moments, but from embracing them. By honoring them, you may not only find better sleep, but also gain a deeper understanding of yourself in this stage of life. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on what you've just learned. Which part stood out to you the most? Was it the shift in your internal clock, the subtle changes in health, or perhaps something deeper, an emotional rhythm that only emerges in the stillness of the night? Each of the 5 reasons we've explored offers a unique perspective on why you might wake up early. None of them indicate that something is wrong or broken. Instead, they each highlight how your body and mind are still actively responding, adjusting, and navigating this stage of life. Understanding what your body is trying to communicate, especially in those quiet hours before dawn, holds a quiet power. Rather than seeing those early morning wake-ups as a nuisance, you might begin to view them as messages, gentle reminders to check in with your needs, habits, and emotions. You're not alone in this experience, and many others are seeking answers too. With awareness comes strength, and with that strength, you gain the freedom to make small, meaningful changes that can enhance your sleep, increase your comfort, and create a deeper connection to your own rhythms. If any of these reasons resonated with you today, remember, you're not just aging, you're evolving. And with this evolution comes the opportunity to rest more intentionally, care for yourself more gently, and approach each new day with greater understanding and peace. Thank you for being with us. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it to your life. Your feedback means so much to us, and reading it motivates us to keep creating content that informs and inspires. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it. Your support allows us to continue creating valuable content just for you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.